until I understood evolution that I was able to finally wrap my head around of where we came from.
Yeah.
So until I started learning about evolution, I was still living in the mindset of, oh, hell no, we came from something. Something created us, you know. And so it's very difficult to wrap your head around.
The biggest thing then, you know, I'm assuming I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but the biggest thing for me, the thing that I had to really wrap my mind around, I'm sorry.
Old fucks. I understand.
I'm not too much farther behind you guys, trust me, was just the absolute huge numbers of years that we're talking about. And I honestly think that's the one thing that most people that believe in creationism, they just can't wrap their mind around the concept of even a million.
Yeah.
Ask them, how big is a million? Oh, well, it's, you know, a 1 followed by 6 zeros. Well, what does that mean? How many people is that? If you were to look out on the field, how many people would a million be?
Right.
Well, and they'll rattle something off. No, you're wrong. A million is more people than what you can see with your eyes.
Right.
Period. If you had them standing back to back for as far as you can see, you know, that's a million people. And then you add, you know, 100 million people, and then 100 million people, that makes a billion. People just can't wrap their minds around that kind of number. I can't. And I actually have studied this kind of stuff. And, you know, I honestly think that's one of the things that people don't really get. It's just the concept of these outlandishly huge numbers that the human brain cannot encompass inside of it. You know, our little meat sack we have sitting on top of our shoulders.
Right.
Right.
All right. One thing being, and this is something I don't have it. Well, I do have an experience with it. It was just recently. Being an atheist in the South, you guys are in Georgia. What's it like being an atheist in the South nowadays?
It's difficult. It's difficult for me, not so much for Bobby, because Bobby's going to go out and just be whoever. I mean, to be honest, I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he could lose his job. Yes, he could lose his job
and probably not find another one.
Yeah, but as for like going out in public and being in grocery stores or the mall or something like that, he'll walk around with his big old atheist T-shirt on. You know, no big deal. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't affect him. Me, on the other hand, I can't do that. You know, I'm scared that somebody's going to snap a picture of it and send it to my kids' dad.
Yeah.
You know, so
and that's a valid concern.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if I go to Savannah and downtown Savannah, yeah, I'll probably wear my atheist T-shirt because I really don't think anybody's going to notice me down there. But if you go to the little towns that we live in, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, oh, did you see what Ashley was wearing? She was wearing one of them devil worshiping T-shirts.
Yeah.
Well, as far as being an atheist in the South, I think it goes back to you have to ask the question, and are you an out atheist or are you a closeted atheist?
Yeah, I'm a closeted one.
For a closeted atheist, it's really not a problem. But if you're an out atheist like I am, and I'm very vocal about my atheism, I don't hide it. You get the looks and then you have the conversation, but I haven't had any major problems. I mean, the people I work with know my views. I've had some very interesting conversations at work with believers. It's not as bad as some people make it out to be. You know, I think most people are so wrapped up in their own little world that chances are they're not paying attention to you to begin with.
Yeah.
Now, those that do, you remember we were sitting, I forget what restaurant we were sitting in. I had on a Be Secular T-shirt, and the guy walked up and said, "Be Secular, what the hell's that?"
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Right? And he's probably 70 years old. Yeah, I probably could have got into a conversation with him, but not in the middle of a restaurant.
Right.
You know? So you do run into those people that see your T-shirt and they'll ask you questions or they'll give you a look.
Right.
You know?
Well, my thing is that you can't, like, I can't be outspoken. Women, you cannot be outspoken in this town.
Well, that's not surprising. I mean, that's women the world around.
I mean, I have worked my ass off to get to where I'm at now in my job. And I still have that sense of I cannot be outspoken in my job. And it's not and that's difficult for me because I'm very outspoken in this community.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed, and this is just me myself, is that the people that know you, and maybe not necessarily family, but just people that you meet on a day-to-day basis, and all they have to judge you upon is just like you, Bobby, dealing with the people at your work. They know you for Bobby, the guy that comes in every day and he does his job and he's a good guy. That's all they know about him. And then you come out when someone asks you, do you believe in God? Well, no, I don't. And this is the reason why. They judge you a lot differently that way than someone that has a past experiences with you where they can cherry pick, well, Bobby didn't do the right thing here and Bobby didn't do the right thing there. And that's the reason why he's an atheist right now, because he wanted to be this hedonistic person, whatever. Well, the people that don't actually know you, they can't judge you that way. They judge you by the person that you really are. Does that make any sense whatsoever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes good sense. Because I have often said that I'd rather people get to know me not as an atheist, but as a person. Because when they recognize the way I treat people, when they recognize my love for humanity, and they just watch me in my normal everyday life, it's funny because a lot of them think I'm Christian.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be out of the norm for them to think that.
A lot of them think I'm a Christian. A guy I work with, I've known for years, was like, man, you would make the perfect Christian. I wish I could convert you. And I'm like, no, I have no need for an invisible friend. I don't need that. I'm able to do the same thing. Yeah. I'm able to do the exact same thing and more than you're doing as a secular humanist. I don't need a God to try. Well, I don't need.
To be honest, they're more afraid of being punished than they are of being rewarded. Well, in the end, they're more afraid that Satan's going to come into their life and screw everything up than they're worried about God making Satan get the fuck out their lives and making everything okay.
Well, if you were to ask them, I'm a non-believer because of Satan.
Oh, yeah. No, there's that.
Yeah.
Even though you're the best person in the world, that, they wouldn't have a problem sending their kids over to you, I'm sure.
Right. So if they get to know the person first and then find out they're an atheist, it's certain. The main purpose that it serves is they go, wow, you're an atheist, but you're so nice. And they're able to see that, you can not believe in God and still have morals. You can not believe in God and still want to do good for humanity.
Yeah.
So you've changed their view of what an atheist is. Now, unfortunately, there are those atheists out there that will completely derail everything that you work so hard to build. And trust me, you need those guys. You need those firebrands. You need them. So I don't speak out against them. Be firebrand. You're needed. Me, I just rather let them see me, see my actions, and see how I treat people, and give a positive spin to atheism. That way, when they're talking to their neighbor and the neighbor's saying some stupid shit about atheists, they can go, well, I kind of know this atheist guy, and that's not how he acts. They can kind of defend it.
And they can't. And that's exactly the point.
Hi, this is Trav Mamone of the By Any Means podcast. Join me every week as I talk to activists, bloggers, and podcasters about the intersections between social justice and humanism. Go to www.byanymeans.com, that's by spelled B-I, to listen to the podcast and read my blog. Besides, aren't we all a little bi-curious?
Those are some pretty good commercials, I'm sure.
Sounded great.
I'm sure they
were short compared to ours.
Now, I've heard that dynamite comes in small packages. Well, I don't know if 3 foot tall, 6 inches is considered a small package, but we do have one of them present right now, and her name is Miss Ashley. Miss Ashley, how are you doing this evening?
Damn, you're 3'6".
damn, at least give me my damn feet back.
If only you had a flat,
all two of them.
If only you had a flat head, I could stick my drink. No.
I didn't know we were going to get into all that.
Hell, if you're 3'6", I always thought you were 4'9". But,
well, according to Chris, he thinks I'm like 2 foot tall.
Yeah, that's Chris.
And tells me to, like, stand up and hides all my shit.
Yeah, he kind of hides your glasses in high places.
Yes,
I'm probably doing the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm probably doing that.
Every time Chris comes over, he hides her phone way up high,
and then starts calling
it. Yeah,
he's such an ass.
But I'm
somebody
sorry
who doesn't have an ass.
He wants to talk to Miss Ashley. I will hush.
But yes, actually, dynamite does come in small packages, especially when you don't realize that you have the dynamite. And then when you realize that you have the dynamite, oh my gosh. I mean, because, we talked about Bobby's past religions and what he's been through in life. And, I was raised Southern Baptist. I didn't even know that I was able to question anything.
Unfortunately, I know what it's like being raised Southern Baptist, so I got you.
I mean, I didn't know there were other options, other than Southern Baptist. I just thought that's all there. I mean, we had the Southern Baptist Convention. When we went on retreats, it was everything Baptist. I didn't even know of any other type of religions.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and please do not call me ma'am. Oh my gosh. So
you do realize I actually am from the South, and I will say ma'am.
I know.
And chances are you are probably a lot older than he is. Just
it wouldn't matter. I would tell. I actually call ladies that are younger than me. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You said I was a lot older than him? That's okay. Well, then that's it. Just wait till Chris gets here next time. He's going to whip your ass.
That's funny shit ever. Yeah, okay.
Well, anyways, I went through,
oh, you're so silly.
About 8-9 years of abuse from my ex, the father of my kids. And I had met Bobby at work, and yes, he used to work for me. I was his boss. And
oh, really?
Yes, I was.
A little bit of nepotism going on there. A little bit of sexual harassment. What's that all about?
He only wishes I would sexually harass him. He actually became a best friend. We talked a lot, and he made me realize that I don't have to be putting up with what I was putting up with. And I finally gathered up the courage to get out of the relationship. And it was hard for it was really hard after that relationship because I was still being mentally and verbally abused by this man. Even after I left the relationship. But Bobby introduced me into Buddhism because I was always like, how do you not let things bother you? And he was like, here, sit down. So, and I will admit a lot of the Buddhism helped me because it helped me work on things that I needed to work on for me. Mm-hmm. Work on my inner self. So it did help me, and meditating helped me. And, there's still times during my this, life that I'm going through right now that I still meditate. But
yes, ma'am.
And then, I was like, wait a minute, I started pointing out, it wasn't that I was pointing out loopholes in Buddhism. It was just that I had questions about it, which made Bobby to really start thinking. And
inconsistencies.
Yes.
That's one of the things. It doesn't have to be loopholes. It's just like, this doesn't hold with this. So, it's not loopholes. It's just, how can you reconcile this with that? That doesn't work.
Exactly. And, I had a hard time believing that I've lived many, many, many lives before this. And they say that, in Buddhism, that if you are in the human life form, that you've done something right in your past lives. Mm-hmm. But just anything like something that I can do in this life can cause me to go back many, many lives and become a roach. Okay. That's the only way I know how to put it. But I don't know. There were some things in Buddhism that I had a hard time wrapping my head around. So then, Bobby started talking about atheism, and, I started getting angry at Bobby because I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't answer my questions about Buddhism, and now you're ready to move on to something else. Hold on.
Well, that's not technically true. I answered a lot of questions of yours.
Well, you did, but, it was like I wasn't ready to take that jump yet. And then I realized that it was okay that I wasn't ready to take that jump. And then Bobby realized that it was okay that I wasn't ready to take that jump.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know that's killing